Okay, everyone, welcome to Amateur Hour with Dan. We're going to be doing a drill session here. I'm just going to go ahead and play. So I'm calling this, I'm not sure what other people have called it, but I'm calling this the stoplight drill. So why is it called a stoplight? Well, a stoplight has green, red, and yellow. Red means danger, yellow means caution, green means go. So specifically, this entire drill is to teach us on third shot drops where we are to be positioned on the court. So I'm demonstrating right now for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to switch over to Charlie, who you see coming in on the right as the returner, and then he's going to try to implement what we're talking about. So what is the drill? The drill starts with serve. Try to keep the serve deep. The return also needs to be deep. The return has to give you time to get to the kitchen. So you want a high, deep return. Now let's see if Charlie makes it to the kitchen line before I hit. He's got his split step as I'm hitting the ball. Perfect. Okay. So now this. Oh, sorry. Did I miss my drop shot? Yeah. So the whole point of this is to really focus on the third shot drop. So Charlie did what he was supposed to do. He got his return nice and deep. Let's hit play. Okay, now this is where we ask ourselves if we're in the green, yellow, or red. So a green drop is a drop that forces your opponent to hit from low to high. So whether your opponent's reaching into the kitchen and taking it out of the air like a volley, or they're letting it bounce and then hitting it, if they have to strike the ball from low to high, that's a green drop. Now, a green light drop means that you should be able to safely transition all the way, or at least very close to, the kitchen line. You can imagine maybe a 2-foot zone behind the kitchen line that's green. Then the transition zone is what would be a yellow drop. A yellow drop is what you're just seeing demonstrated right here, where the ball is being hit above the waist. It's not quite a smashable or put away ball, but it does apply pressure, and you don't want to be at the kitchen line with that ball coming at you. So you'll notice that I paused in the transition zone, and I'm trying to get that green drop just like that, and we're going to dink it out. Now, what is a red zone drop? Well, if you drop and the ball is very high, your opponent has an opportunity to hit it from high to low. That is a red zone ball. If that's the case, you should stay close to the baseline. You may not move at all. That was a green, and I was able to move up. Now, one of the caveats to this is that a yellow ball can also be a ball that bounces in the kitchen. So if I hit my third shot drop and it lands in the kitchen, but it rebounds very high, then my opponent can hit above his waist. That's a yellow zone ball. Again, yellow zone means we stay in the transition and we fight to earn our way up to the kitchen. Okay, I think we might be getting to... Oh, Charlie's coming up soon. Now, the important thing of this drill here is that the serve should be deep, the return should be deep, and that puts the most pressure on the third shot. So what happens if the second shot, the return, is short? Well, we'll see that in a few... I'm not sure if we've seen that yet. But we'll see in a few minutes that short returns... Oh, there's one right there. Short returns make it far easier to advance into the green zone. You got a little net cord there. I couldn't handle it. All right. Okay, Charlie's coming up, guys. This is what you tuned in for. All right. Hopefully this loops over to Charlie. There we go. Here's Charlie. So he's serving. That's hit 1. This is his third shot drop. Beautiful. That was almost a green, in fact. Let's catch the next one before it even hits. Let's see if we can decide if he's in the right spot each time he hits his third shot drop. Here's the first. Here's a return, nice and deep, and he's hitting his drop. And where should he be? So I'm bent over. The ball is dropping into the kitchen. Will I be able to hit above my waist or below my waist? Is it low to high? Yes, it's low to high. But because it did rebound pretty high, I was able to get a good amount of pace on it, and he is treating this as a yellow zone drop. That's another yellow zone drop, and he hit the net. Okay, that's all right. He made good decisions. His drops kept him in the transition zone until he could earn his green light drop. Let's watch again. Serve, return, nice and deep, good. And here's a drop. Okay, here we go. This is certainly a yellow zone drop. He could actually be up a little bit further. Maybe he will advance, but he's got his split step, which is great. I'm not hitting from the top down, but I am hitting above my waist around chest height to try to keep him back. So he is in a good position. There's his yellow, and there's his green. As soon as I hit from low to high, Charlie earns a green light and should be at the kitchen line. Now, the entire point of this is to get the server to neutralize the point and be able to be on the same level as the returner. Who has the advantage, the server or the returner? Do you know the answer to that question? The answer is the returner, and here's why. Here comes the serve. Now, a nice floating return that goes deep like that. Where does the returner end up? At the kitchen line. So let's take a look at this position right now. Who has the advantage? The advantage is the person who's returning because he or she owns the kitchen line on the second shot. But you only get that advantage if your return is deep and gives you the time to get to the kitchen. Beautiful. Now, what kind of a drop was that? As we can see, I'm hitting low to high. It came off the top cord, so it's a bit difficult to handle. But because it's low to high, Charlie gets the green light. And so he ends up close to the kitchen line, and we will dink it out, and he gets a point. Serve. Nice, deep, slow return. That was a low to high hit, but Charlie made a mistake and stayed in the yellow zone transition. Not a huge mistake, it's fine. At the very least, he didn't get punished, but the point being is, and it is difficult to judge. This is not an easy thing to judge. But the point being, if your opponent has to hit from low to high, they cannot attack you. If they hit low to high with a lot of pace, you're going to have an attackable ball that you can hit from high to low. So you'll notice in a lot of these exchanges, let's watch again, if I have to hit from low to high from the kitchen line like that, I'm not typically going to be hitting a very fast ball because I don't want him to be able to attack it. There it is. Oh, all right. So that was a little too high. All right, let's watch another few more. Let's see if we can determine if he's in the right position. 1, 2, here comes a drop. Okay, what kind of a drop did Charlie do on his third? Certainly I am reaching in. I'm hitting from low to high. This is a green drop. And Charlie is at the kitchen. Very good. So you don't have to be like pressed right up against the kitchen line, but that green drop, that was good, should get you close to the kitchen line. All right, let's try again. We're going to pause and see if you can guess what zone Charlie's drop is. All right. Once again, the ball's traveling down. I'm reaching in, going to be hitting from low to high. Is that green, yellow, or red? That's green. So Charlie was in the yellow zone. He could have advanced a lot further forward on that shot. And so I'm going to try and keep the pressure on him, and he lost that point. 1, 2. Here's a third. Again, it's coming down. I'm reaching in. It's going to be a low to high hit. He could have been up. So we'd like to see a little bit more aggressive identification of green light drops on that third. What an excellent reset there. He earned his way back to the kitchen, defended an attack. That's a highlight right there. Beautiful. Now, hit the net, but that was really well played. So that short drop allowed... Oh. So that this last exchange was a good example of when your return is not deep. It makes your third shot drop so much easier. Okay, that was a yellow drop. And he's kind of fighting for his life at the back there. All right, let's watch this again. We'll pause on the third. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's actually reverse the frames a bit. So look where the paddle... Oops. What in the world is that? That's volume, I think. Sorry, oops. All right. Anyway, I might have messed up the volume there, but point is, low to high. That's probably close to a green. Remember, if your rebound is too high, it's considered a yellow. 1, 2, too short. Good. So that was a green drop, and he's at the kitchen line. Wonderful. Now, the other thing that this teaches is that your drops don't have to be perfect. Drops can be green, red, or yellow. What an excellent finish by Charlie. 1, 2. They just have to not hit the the net. But if you hit a yellow drop, work on getting that green. It's going to come on shot 5 or shot 7. But be aware that the quality of your drop is going to determine where you should be in the court. And this is where split step drills are very, very useful. But as an example, if you hit a very, very high drop that is slow, it could give you the time to get all the way up to the kitchen. And if you split step when your opponent is hitting the ball, you may find yourself at the kitchen line, but it's technically what we refer to as a red light drop. So your opponent, who's got a very, very high ball, is able to hit from the top down, or put a put away or a very aggressive shot. If you're standing at the kitchen line, you're going to get murdered, or you're going to get your partner murdered if you're playing doubles. So while it is important to learn how to split step and to stop moving when your opponent is hitting, knowing where you should be on the court is the next level of improvement. And that was a perfect example that Charlie just gave right there. He had a yellow drop, and there he got his green, and he's back at the kitchen line. Oh, excellent defense by Charlie. So you can see he's making decisions based not just on when I'm about to hit the ball, but he's making decisions based on the quality of his drop. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is Charlie has got a fantastic drive. He's got a very good drive. He's got a good speed up. He's got a lot of power. He's very athletic. But getting reliably up to the kitchen and maintaining a dink battle and looking for opportunities to finish the point is what higher level pickleball is, for the most part. So why not drive your return, as an example? So serve, here comes the return. If this return is a drive, I have to be ready for a very fast ball coming back, and it makes it very difficult to reliably get to the kitchen. Instead, a third shot drop should be a comfortable way to reliably get to the kitchen. Of course, mistakes get made, but... Well, I think that's pretty clear. I hope everyone understands how this works. Try to pay attention to your drops. The rule is, if your opponent is hitting down to up, that's a green light. Get up close to the kitchen as you can. If your opponent is hitting your drop at waist or chest height, stay in the transition zone, the yellow zone. That's a yellow drop. And try to work yourself into that green drop so that you can get to the kitchen. If the ball is a really bad drop, it's really, really high, just realize you're probably going to get a fast put away. Stay back near the baseline and try to earn that green light drop once again. So get to the kitchen line, guys. Play real pickleball. Have a great day. Thanks for coming and hanging out. All right, bye.